Yeah, welcome to San Miguel TV, man. There's a lot going on right now.
Thank you for shopping 7-Eleven. For your safety, the parking lot is being video recorded.
Huh? For your safety. Damn. So yeah, it's a lot going on right now, man. I want to talk about it. Welcome to San Miguel TV. We are here again. There's a lot going on right now in Mexico. Famous cartel boss El Mencho. What's his name, real quick? Yeah, Nemesio Cervantes. That's his name. He has a long name. But yeah, man, Mexico's on fire right now. Businesses being burned. They're targeting their own country, destroying their own country, killing their own people, taking tourists, American tourists, captive. And there's a lot of stuff to be talking about right now, man. I mean, this guy has been wanted since about 2009. He's been having so many captures and releases because the Mexican cartels has Mexico in their pockets. Mexico is at a standstill right now where, you know, the Mexican people are caught between the cartels and the government. And the American government, you know, if we start to really get involved, it's going to be a problem. As of right now, there is nothing to be really said about an ongoing war. What we do have is the civil war between the Mexican people and the cartels and how they're being terrorized by their own people. Where are all these protesters that were out for ICE in these last months, over almost a year, protesting about ICE in Mexico? Mexicans, there's no illegals on stolen land and all that blah, blah, blah garbage. Where are they at now? We don't see the protests now for Mexico. And the people are caught up in between, because if you speak out against the cartels, they're going to get you. They will find you and they will get you. Man, this looks like a third world country right here. They're trying to cut down these woods because people are actually staying here. It looks like this is a war zone right here in our very own country. Yeah, you can see where people actually live here. They've been cutting down these woods so these people aren't too hidden. I wanted to show this too, but yeah, man, we got some people that actually live back here. This has just recently been cut down, but you know, this is Florida right here, man. If we don't be careful, this might be the entire country. We got some yakala. Yeah, trying to find a place where I can sit, chill. But yeah, man, it's It's crazy what's going on in this country and in Mexico, but Mexico's really got it bad right now. We can see that Mexico is really, really got it bad. And what is the federales, the Mexican government, what are they going to be able to do against this? Much of the drugs that are sold through our southern border goes right back to the cartel's pockets. And they've been getting themselves, making themselves billionaires. These are billionaires. A lot of this money is unchecked, untaxed. We know how much money is really out there. There's no way to track it down, but we know that these people have basements, you know, safes full of so much money that we don't even know what's going on. And after the death of this boss, the Mexican cartel boss, El Mencho, Nemesio Cervantes, it's gonna be some problems. And it's continuing on, man. I wish I could show some of the videos right now. But this is Nemesio Oseguera Cervantes. Yeah, that's the boss. He's recently been killed by Mexican police. And it's an ongoing war right now. But Mexico's trying to get their country back away from the hands of the cartels who have all the power. See, when you have so much money, it don't matter what position you have in politics, you can, you know, persuade these politicians to do your bidding just for the simple fact that you have the power and the money, and you can really put these people's lives in danger. You don't know who has been threatened, who's next to be killed. You know, there's a whole line and list of dirty politicians in Mexico. We don't know who's who. We know this guy's gone. El Mencho. Make sure you give this video a like and a thumbs up. You know, I'm strolling through the city. The city beautiful. On my lunch break, wanted to talk about Mexico. In Jalisco, Mexico, is where they murdered Nemesio Cervantes, El Mencho, aka El Mencho, cartel crime boss. Give this video a thumbs up if you like what you see. You know, let me know that everything sounds good, if you can hear it clearly. Hopefully there's no internet issues. Everything looks fine on my end. So, yep. Welcome to San Miguel TV. How are you gonna, you know, burn down your own businesses, your country's businesses? This is what they did during the BLM riots. This is what's happening in Mexico right now. These are people that don't care about their own people. They don't care about their own country. It's all about the money. It's all about the family, the cartel family, and how can they become more powerful, you know? What are they gonna do? What are you gonna do? Should the U.S. government get involved? What do you guys think? Should the U.S. government get involved with Mexico and what's going on in Jalisco, Mexico, with the cartel? I mean, it's not just in one city. It's in multiple cities throughout the country, multiple states, rather, throughout the country. They're terrorizing people all over. Mexico is on fire right now. This is our southern neighbors, our neighbors to our southern border. What are we gonna do? What can be done? When you have such powerful drug runners and drug dealers that are running the entire country, what can you do? How can you take that power away that's already there? There's so much money involved and so many people that's attached to this that we don't even know about. But yeah, I mean, this guy has been wanted for years. El Mencho is a crime boss that's been wanted, his arrest, you know, for years. And they tried to capture him. He ended up being killed. He didn't want to go out without a fight. And they went crazy. They're going crazy right now in Mexico. So yeah, man, tap that like button, subscribe to San Miguel TV as I continue to live stream on a regular basis. You can catch me on a regular basis doing my live streaming. Let's take a little walk down the street. Yes, we see more homeless people's carts. This is what Orlando has turned into, a homeless hub, especially this part of Orlando. Yeah, it's wild. As we can see down here, we got people, but let's keep it going down here. Keep it moving. It's a nice day, sunny Orlando, Florida. As we continue on, let's speak about all these things, baby. Jalisco, Mexico. Home of the best tacos you'll ever have. Oh no, there was a hawk over there I wanted to catch. Let me see. Oh, there he goes. There it goes. Woo. Hawk likes to chill over here by this area all the time. I'm seeing this boy. But yeah, man, what's going on? Welcome to San Miguel TV. Let's continue to talk about everything. But yeah, they love the warm places, don't they? Ooh, it's really nice today. I'm over here in the shade right now, but yeah, man. You could catch me on Vocab Malone's live stream last night. Go ahead and go through that last live stream on Vocab Malone's channel. I was on there, a Christian apologist. We did our thing, went live for about an hour and a half. You know, yeah, man. I hear that hawk. You hear that hawk? There you go. He likes to post up over here. But yeah, man, Mexico is a mess right now, man. I don't know what else to say. But it's obvious that Mexico is a big old mess right now. Not much we could do except look back and watch and hope for the best. Man, when you have powerful people that die, powerful people that go out, who's going to take over this guy's spot? There's already somebody in line to take over his spot. That's the problem. It's it's an empire with like a CEO type of boss running it. Alejandro Salgado, what's up? But yeah, this empire is more powerful than the actual Mexican country, that Mexican nation. This drug empire has become more powerful. That's the problem. And you're going to have that as long as people are buying and selling drugs. As long as drugs is a powerful commodity, how can you take down this empire that's been built for decades now on drug money, weapons? You know that they're probably armed like a military. You see it all the time. Yeah, drugs are horrible. Look what it does to people in the streets. A lot of people, it's not just mental health issues, it's mental health issues that were brought on by drug use. And that's what happens when you are abusing and using drugs and you don't care about yourself. You gotta love yourself, man. Care about yourself first. Then everything will fall in line. Let me see, can I do it like this? Yeah. There we go. Yeah, man. Welcome to San Miguel TV. Once again, give this video a thumbs up, a like, a share, a comment, subscribe. We're gonna keep this going for a little while. I usually do videos about Black Hebrew Israelites. You know, that's not going on today. Sometimes I give away cars. That's not happening today either. Cone on the bricks. Sorry. Bones up, dude. When does the boxing match start? I don't know. It could start right now, though. I'm kidding. I want to know, when's this war going to begin? Is this going to lead to a war? Hopefully not. Yeah, sorry about that. But if any war is popping off right now, it's what's going on with Iran. Iran is definitely on the cusp of a war. We're definitely on the cusp of a war with Iran. You know, we are one of Israel's biggest allies. Anybody mess with Israel, they mess with the United States. That's how it goes. Even if you might not agree with that, it's just always been the way that we operate. And Israel, you know, gets a lot of money from the United States. So they're going to have our protection all day long. As a country, whether you agree with it or not, your tax dollars are going towards Israel. Your money. Yeah, so should we be focused on what's going on in the Middle East, what's going on in Iran? Should that be our main focus? Should we place a bigger focus on what's going on in Mexico, which is our southern border? You know, you would think that that's more important. But so what's going on, y'all? Send a comment, put a comment what you think is going on, what you would like to say. I think it's interesting. What do you think we should do as a country if American citizens are being taken hostages by the Mexican cartel? We're gonna have to step up. I mean, do you agree or not? If you don't live in Mexico, then you have no saying on what's currently happened. Viva Mexico. Yeah, man. There's a lot of people that don't live in Mexico because they ran away from Mexico and they're living in America, and they're trying to tell Americans what we should do regarding Mexican immigrants, especially people that are coming through the border illegally. You know, use that same energy towards the immigrants that are coming through the border. They should have no say in how we want to operate in this country. If we want to kick out the illegal immigrants and send them back to Mexico, go back to Mexico and fix your country. Because the issues that's happening in Mexico is not similar to what's happening in America. You have like 10 countries or 10 states or cities in Mexico whose crime rate is higher than the majority of the world, like compared to other countries. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's quite a dilemma. What do we do with our southern neighbors that we want to have open doors, open borders, not completely open borders, but you know what I mean. We want to at least extend an invitation temporarily, or if they like to, they can stay permanently if they do the right thing, though. If they don't commit any crimes, and as long as they go through the right process, I don't see what's the problem with going through the right process so we know who you are. It's just like you won't allow any random person into your home without you knowing who these people are. And even if it's 1 out of 10 immigrants are violent, imagine allowing 1 out of 10 violent people into your home. That's not a good number at all. I want 0 out of 10. If they're coming in illegally, those are the numbers that you usually see. It might be 2 out of 10. 2 out of 10 people have a violent past. But even if they don't have a violent past, they could still be some type of child predator that maybe got arrested for doing something non-violent, but maybe they have kiddie porn or some crazy stuff like that, and they get arrested. That they're not considered a violent criminal. Should we still be letting these people into our country? Good discussion to talk, good things to talk about, great topics to discuss. And, it's up for discussion. I'm willing to hear different, people's points individually, because everybody's going to have their individual story. There are people that used to be evil. There are people that used to be bad. There's people that have changed their lives around. So how do we consider that? When you have somebody with a history of violence or aggression or some sexual deviance, if they're thieves, you might not be a violent criminal, but you might be a thief, a crook, a scammer. We don't want you either. How do we determine, is this person still a scammer? Will they still scam in the future? Some people say, I don't even want to take the chance. Send them back to Mexico. And some people say, well, let's give them a chance. This is their past. They've changed. They've shown somehow. Okay, let's give this person an opportunity. I'm good with that too. Yeah. But again, welcome to San Miguel TV. We're talking about issues in our southern border. We're talking about Mexico. We're talking about El Mencho. The issue with the cartel, the bosses in the cartel family. Nemesio Oseguera Cervantes. Crime boss, Mexican crime boss, is dead. He's gone. She gone. They got him. And what are we gonna do? Are we gonna go to war for the pride of our country, the protection of our great land? Because once these cartels try to make their way into our country, man, it's gonna be a problem. If that ever happens. We don't know. But Nemesio Oseguera Cervantes is gone. El Mencho, dead. Cartel crime boss, who's been on the run for years and wanted by the Mexican government, was captured and killed while in police custody. He was killed by Mexican police. What do we think? What do y'all think? Did they do the right thing? I think so. I don't know what that was. yeah, hope everybody's having a good day. Here's a little view of Orlando, Florida. Orlando as I know it. What a first 2 months of 2026 already. Already. It's 36 degrees in the Chi right now. Wow. Man, right now it's about 65. It's real nice. Real nice. I can't complain. But I think that Mexico right now is on the brink of a war. And, I wanted to talk about that a little bit because I think it's important part of, global politics. But, it's American politics too. South America, Central America politics, I guess we could say. Yeah. Yep. I mean, right now the weather's so nice right now in Florida. It's beautiful, man. It's nice and breezy too. It's usually not this breezy, but it's nice and breezy. I love it. I love it. Just enjoying my lunch break right now. It's real interesting though what's going on in Mexico. I can't front. And the war that's already on its way is it's not a game, man. It's not a game. I watch a lot of Narcos and Breaking Bad and all this cartel stuff, I mean, it's all movie and cinema for the most part. But there's some reality to it. Yeah, man. It's a good idea, 801 Pizzle. Maybe now it's Mexico's chance to take a page out of El Salvador's book. You said page, but yeah, take a page out of El Salvador's book, right? Reform and take crime down to near zero. Shit, drastic, times call for drastic measures, and that's what El Salvador did. It's not always going to be so, such a almost a police state, some people may say. It's just that it needed that response, at least for the time being. And when things calm down, as they already are, then you might start to want to pull back on, the funding for the police, the jails, the prison, and the task force that they have to help bring down crime. I mean, still keep it at bay. And this is what might have to be done, what might need to be done in Mexico. But the problem with Mexico is that what's always been the problem is that there's a lot of dirty politicians that have the cartels, with some type of power over them. They have no power. The power is with the cartel. They know how they can reach out to anybody. They can get anybody, reach out and touch someone, to threaten. ICE agents have terrorized our Hispanic communities and snatched them up. That's not terrorism. You have an incorrect understanding of what terrorism is. That's crazy how you said the tables are turning. Look at this crazy ass first of all, the tourists are coming to Mexico to vacation and they're gonna leave. The illegal immigrants come to this country to try to stay here because Mexico is trash. Because Mexico doesn't have the opportunities that we have. We're not there. Tourists go to Mexico and they actually put money into the economy. They're actually putting money into the Mexican economy. Mexican immigrants and just illegal immigrants that come to this country put us on a net zero. We're basically, we end up coughing up money to support the illegal immigrants. And they don't contribute the way that Americans contribute to Mexico. So it's not the same thing. We're not holding these people hostages. We're telling them to go back home. Being held hostage is not the same as being held in custody by the government. We're talking about cartels, evil, corrupt criminals. That's not what ICE agents are. ICE agents are doing their jobs while cartels are illegal criminals that want to murder people. And that's not what's going on with ICE. So that's a crazy, crazy comparison. That's insane, actually. Yeah, there's actually more terrorism in countries in Africa. Some countries in the Middle East, is way more terrorism. So I don't know what you mean by America is or United States is a terrorist country. That's not even. Yeah, liberals aren't known for being bright. Yeah, I bet you Oswaldo Mendez is one of them liberals that want open borders and abolish ICE. It's like there's always been ICE agents. The ICE, the agency that controls immigration and that enforces those laws has always been a thing. Not always, but has been a thing for many years in this country. But now all of a sudden it's a problem. And I know that it's only because the Democrats want to rile up people like this guy to think that it's somehow this is Trump's doing, when it's always been a thing that we do. And you should look at some of these facilities where they keep the children. It's not, they're in good living facilities. These are good living environments that they get to spend and play Nintendo and all this stuff while they get a free trip back home. And the people that come here illegally and then have kids, they know what risks they run when they come into this country illegally. Their children are going to get deported with them because we don't want to separate the children from the parents. So while they get temporarily detained, yes, there's a temporary separation because of your actions. For you coming in illegally or overstaying your visa, which is another way you could get deported, then you know what the consequences are going to be. And that's it. Yeah, none of this has to do with Trump at all. And people want to pull Trump into this. This is all immigration enforcement, border enforcement, and Department of Homeland Security has been a thing for many years in this country. It's not an abuse of power. It is the power that the president has to enforce. It's always been this power that the president has had to enforce, to make sure that the laws are being kept and that the country is being ran orderly. And this is how America has prevented themselves from turning into a Mexico, where cartels, drug dealers are running the country. That's why they run, people that are looking for opportunities run to the United States, because all the money is being taken by the drug dealers. They're not spreading the wealth. And Mexico has fallen. Yeah. The immigration still puts America at a net zero, which means it's a deficit. We're the ones that have to pay as taxpayers. We're putting out money into the pockets of illegal immigrants and many immigrants, period. You can see that illegal immigration hurts our economy. You don't get taxed if you're working under the table, off the books. You're not getting taxed. You might be paying some money to our local businesses with the money that you earn, but you're still not paying your due taxes. And you come in here the right way. That's it. And then there's no, how are you trying to argue about illegal immigration? There's no argument. Yeah. It'd be your own people that make, your people look bad, man. You come in here the wrong way. You want to be a criminal, child molester, and you don't want to get deported. Then you got white liberals out here trying to fight for these criminals. They're trying to get these people to be released and come back to the country after they've been deported by ICE because they're criminals. You have liberals that will literally tell you, well, let's give them another chance. Well, sir, this person, Alejandro Cervantes, has molested 5 children and murdered 2. Do you want to allow this person to be, sent back to America? They got deported years ago. Let's write a petition to get these people back. Your dumbasses would be like, yeah, let's get Alejandro Cervantes out here. We need him because diversity is our strength. Yeah, I have a business. I can talk about what's going on in Mexico. It's okay. Don't tell me what I can't talk about. You can't talk about what's going on in Mexico. It's none of your business. Well, then you can't talk about what's going on in America. It's none of your business. Keep your ass in Mexico then. That's like saying, keep your ass in Mexico because you have no business coming to America. We can't talk about what's going on in Mexico? Yeah, I'm going to talk about it. There's something called geopolitics, world politics. You have people from countries that are not their own countries. They're speaking about the economics, the situation, the society in other countries that don't belong to them. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you know what's going on, it's all right. You can speak about it, and nobody should be able to stop your what's called First Amendment rights to freedom of speech. So I'm going to talk about what's going on in Mexico. What? So because you've never been to Mexico, you can't talk about Mexico? You don't think that I'm able to look up the crime statistics in Mexico? How come I know the crime statistics in Mexico better than you do? How come I know that there's 10 cities in Mexico that have worse crime than many cities in the United States? And some of the worst crime in the whole country, in the whole world, you find in 10 different cities in Mexico, they rank the top 20 worst cities in the world when it comes to murder. Why is there so much murder going on in Mexico? I'm going to keep talking about that, whether you like it or not. You could give me the statistics right now. What are the most crime-ridden, murder rate capitals in the world? Mexico comes up time after time after time after time. Yeah, there's Mexicans that do move out here to get a better life. Do it the right way. Then there's Mexicans that move out here or they help transport people through the border illegally, and a lot of them molest the women, rape the women that are coming through that need help. The women that are coming to America trying to get to this country for a better life, sometimes they get raped at the border by some of these coyotes and smugglers. Human trafficking is what they're doing. So, how can you be for human trafficking? Let's do this shit the right way. You know what I mean? And I don't care, this is just like letting people into your home. If you want to allow, people that you don't know into your home, you run the risk of allowing a potential criminal into your own home. This is the way you should consider how to run the country, is run the country like how you would run your home. Do you want people to be coming in and out of your house that you don't know? Oh, the majority of them are going to be good citizens or good people. Okay, but if you're allowing 10 people and 1 out of 10 people is going to be a criminal or a thief, you're still allowing them into your house. So the best thing to do is to get a good understanding of who you're allowing into your country, to try to prevent anything negative from happening at all. That's the best way to do it. And this is world politics. It has nothing to do with, I don't need to go to Mexico to know that the crime rate in Mexico is high. Just like you don't need to go to Iran to know that Iran is currently under a terrorist regime, and they're also on fire. Iran is burning just like Mexico. There's many different states, about at least 5 or 6 throughout the country in Mexico, that you've seen businesses being burned. Cartels are, shooting up people, taking people hostages. Especially they're targeting American citizens too, that are on vacation in Mexico. So right now, I would suggest not taking a vacation to Mexico because it's very dangerous for tourists. And you saw a shooting happen at the airport. I believe it was in Jalisco, Mexico. That's where they killed El Mencho in Jalisco, Mexico. He was shot while he was killed while in custody, pretty much, and it led to this uprising right now that you see going on all throughout the country. And just take care of your country first, then we'll take care of everybody else later. We'll deal with everybody else later. There's more important things in this country that we have to worry about than trying to help these poor immigrants that are running away from their countries. We have people in this own American citizens that we need to deal with first. A lot of people want to be out here trying to fight for illegal immigrants, especially if you're white, you're black, non-Hispanic, worrying about what's going on with illegal Hispanic immigrants. This is not your fight. This is not your fight. And even as a Hispanic, I'm honest enough to say that I don't want to be grouped in with these crazy ass ideas that come from sometimes from the Hispanic community that wants to allow all immigration from Hispanic Latin countries just because we're Hispanic. Well, do it the right way, and that's it, man. This is how countries run. This is how countries work. You protect your border just like you protect your home. That's just how it works. You put a damn fence around your own home, but you don't want, some of y'all want open borders. You know, and it's obvious. The Obama administration deported way more migrants in its time. Nobody was crying back in 2014 and 2012. You didn't really see the uproar, even when Obama was the main deporter of immigrants, the administration. You just didn't have that hyper fixed news media that hates Trump, trying to blame everything on Trump, you know, because they need to win that next election. They don't want a Republican to win in 2028, so they want to keep, you know, the Democrats want to make sure they allow as much potential voters to come through that border so they could keep them in office. And that's why you saw Biden just open those borders up prior to the 2024, you know, election. And man, it was a mess, and the drastic times call for drastic measures. And that's all you see going on. But Mexico is on fire right now. Hopefully it's going to be for the better. They should take a page from the El Salvador book, and they need to get tougher on crime. You know, they have the cartels, the big money cartels, drug movers and drug dealers that control the country. They've been doing it for years, bringing drugs to our southern border. The border has been reinforced, and there's nothing wrong with that. I for one, am an American-born Hispanic who supports border control, border police, Department of Homeland Security, immigration enforcement. I'm for all of that, and you should be too. Yeah. Less than 10% of those detained by ICE are violent criminals. So then you should allow 10, you know, 10 people that you don't know into your house, just because only one of them is going to be violent. Then that means you should allow just 10 people into your house because only one of them is going to be violent. That logic has already been destroyed. That's why I was talking about that earlier. If you don't know who's coming into your country, you run the risk of 1 out of 10 people being violent. That doesn't mean that there's not going to be thieves. A thief is not a violent crime. If you have been arrested for committing a crime of theft, that's not considered a violent crime. What if you were caught with child pornography? That's not a violent crime. You want to let people that have been caught with child pornography into your home? That's what you're telling me, Hurricane Gus. Don't be one of them white liberals, man. Use your head. It is a correlation, because you need to look at your country same way you should look at your house. How you protect your home should be the same principles of how you protect your country. That's why you put a border, a fence, a white picket fence around your borders, your boundary, your land, and that's why you have a lock on your doors to help protect and keep the peace in your home. Use that same logic for your country. You would not let 10 random people into your house. Oh, there's only one of them is going to be a violent person coming into your house. Let 10 people in. Well, I don't know who these people are, so how do I know which one's a violent one? Well, it's only one of them is going to be violent. It's only 1 out of 10 of them are going to be violent. 10%. That's great odds. No, it's not. I don't want to take the chance. I don't want to take a 1% chance. No matter what percentage of people are being let in that are violent, the people being detained that are violent, no matter what percent that is, we need to keep our border secure. So it's 0%. It should be 0%. Citizens have not been deported from the country. So name one citizen that has been deported from the country. You can't. Everybody that's been deported has been illegal. You're thinking about the Obama administration. They deported an actual citizen, and it took years for him to clean his name. Now, you can't name one actual citizen that has been deported during this last year that this administration has been doing what they've been doing. Even back before with, what's his name? If you're going to name anybody you're going to name, if you're going to name children, that's because the children get deported with their illegal adult parents in order to not separate the family. You don't want the families to be separated. Well, then those children that are born in the country have to be deported with their illegal immigrant parents. And, you know, you can't name one adult illegal immigrant or legal citizen that has been deported. The ones that get deported are the children that are born here, and they become citizens because they're born here, but their parents are illegal. And when it comes time to deport their parents, they deport the children with them so as not to separate the families, because that's not what you want. You don't want the families to be separated. Y'all are desperate as hell. You can't name one citizen that has been deported. And I know you're looking at it. You're probably looking it up right now, and it's not coming up. Yo, Malik, it's not your fight, bro. I thought you were gonna name a citizen that was deported. Now he's like, I'm out. I'm out of here. Bro, take the poster of Tim Walz down. And you know, peace. Screwing up the country by keeping it safe and deporting illegals. Come on. Thank you for your viewership. You know, keep the country safe, man. God bless America, baby. I think that any illegals that are here, in some cases, if they've been here for 15, 20 years, and they can show that they've been paying taxes faithfully, then I think that we can negotiate something with those illegals. You know, there should be a way where they can be naturalized or become actual, legal immigrants. So in that case, they have a history of them being taxpayers. They have no criminal record. Yeah, why not? You know, but if you are not, if you're living off of the government and you've been here for a long time, you don't show that you've made more money than you've taken, then I think that you should be deported. I think it has a lot to do with being greedy and just trying to get the benefits from this country and not really participate. You need to assimilate and become an actual citizen, a contributing citizen that works. So I don't mind that. I don't mind if, you know, they're illegal, but because I know a lot of illegals do pay